So if you own a smartphone today, chances are it's one of these 4 flagships. And it doesn't hurt learning a few tips and tricks that make using your daily driver a little bit easier. So starting with the handsome Galaxy S8. Now I mentioned this in my full review of the GS8, be sure to go check that out. Now a lot of people complain that the iris scanner takes too long, it's not fast enough, etc, especially because you have to swipe the screen to activate the iris scanner. But if you actually dive into the iris scanner settings, there's a toggle that if you switch on, it actually eliminates the need for you having to swipe the screen in. Once the screen is woke, the iris scanner is activated and you can use it right away. And doing this makes this incredibly fast, and it works in some cases faster than the fingerprint scanner, as well as faster than the facial recognition features. So now you can just use it a little bit quicker. Now next up I want to talk about is the edge panel. So it's easy for us to forget that this phone is actually made so you can use the edge screen, and some people even turn this feature off altogether, but it's actually very useful. So aside from like the apps edge and the people edge and the smart select features, if you actually search within the edge panel catalog, you'll find a few handy panels. One of my personal favorites being the calculator panel. I know I'm not the only one who's been in that situation where you had to do some math and you had to switch back and forth between the calculator app. That gets annoying pretty quick. But now with the calculator panel, you can just slide out the calculator and perform any quick math on top of any other app and just swipe it away when you're done. You also get a lengthy history of your calculations as well as a clipboard feature so you can paste your values elsewhere. Now next I want to talk about is the soft key edge panel. So basically this just brings your soft key nav buttons closer to the edge. Therefore it makes it easier for you to use this massive smartphone in one-handed operation. Now I know you could take a screenshot by swiping your palm across the screen, but let's be honest, sometimes it doesn't always pick up the first time, plus it requires a two-handed operation. And one of my favorite features of the soft key edge panel is the ability to take a screenshot with the touch of a button. I've been using this all the time since I've downloaded it. Now the last one for the GS8 I won't touch on too much, but if you've been living under a rock for whatever reason, this is the first smartphone in the world to ship with Bluetooth 5.0. And basically what this means is if you dive into your Bluetooth settings, you'll find a dual audio option. If you toggle that switch on, you'll be able to pair this smartphone to 2 separate Bluetooth devices and stream music to them simultaneously. So if you wanted to, you can stream music to your favorite pair of Bluetooth earbuds as well as your favorite Bluetooth speaker at the very same time. So next up we have the Google Pixel, one of my favorite smartphones, and this feature was actually new to me. So I didn't know that you can actually ask Google Assistant to take a photo for you. So if you simply say, "Okay Google, take a photo," it'll begin a 3-second countdown until the shutter goes off. Now you can get even more specific and say, "Take a photo in 7 seconds." Or you can get even more specific and say, "Take a selfie in 5 seconds." Anyway, you guys get the point. And that's actually unique to the Pixel camera only, because if you were to do the same thing and say the Galaxy S8, it'll just open up the camera and it won't do the whole countdown. So thumbs up to the Google Pixel. And if you own a Google Pixel, be sure to take advantage of that feature. Now the next feature that's unique to the Google Pixel is that if you dive into the Wi-Fi preferences, initially you might be skeptical about connecting to open networks, but this feature is actually really secure. So it's dubbed Wi-Fi Assistant, and it actually uses Google services to secure your connection to nearby open Wi-Fi hotspots by encrypting the data on Google's VPNs. And it actually uses this in replacement of your data. So you're never actually using any of your data. So it's great if you're roaming or you happen to have a data cap on your cellular plan. So now that you know, you should feel pretty safe about browsing around on open public Wi-Fi networks. Now the last one is actually a hidden feature, literally. So it's called System UI Tuner. And to activate it, you basically have to pull down your notification shade and press the settings gear for around 5 seconds, and that's it, it's enabled. Now this opens up a whole new menu of small tweaks that you can find inside the system settings. And you can enable things like battery percentage up in the status bar, or just remove most of the icons from the status bar altogether. You can also change the layout of the soft key navigation buttons to whatever is more comfortable or practical for you. And you can also add a handy clipboard shortcut on either side of the navigation bar. Now on to the dark side. Literally too. Apple's iPhone 7 Plus. So now with 3D Touch, shockingly a lot of people are still surprised to find out that in the keyboard, when you press down on the screen, you can actually navigate long strings of text like a paragraph. Now I've known about that feature for the longest, but surprisingly a lot of people still don't know that you can do that on the iPhones with 3D Touch. Now this feature works great, and if you actually apply even a little more pressure, you can highlight strings of text, and if you drag, you can highlight basically everything and continue doing your thing. So yeah, again, this caters to one-handed operation, so you don't have to like reach up top to make corrections when you're typing something. You can just press down on the keyboard and you're good to go. Next up, we have Touch ID. So Touch ID on the 7 Plus is stupid fast, but on some of the older iPhones with Touch ID, it could be a little slow. And if you actually enroll the same fingerprint multiple times, you can actually logically help speed up its performance, because it's basically just getting more and more references of the same fingerprint. Therefore, it's gonna work faster. So, alright, so now this next one, I know we've all been in this situation where you've left a flashlight on your iPhone and you forgot to turn it off. So instead of actually sliding up and reaching to the far left to turn off the flashlight toggle, you can just slide over the camera screen and that's it, it turns it off. It's the little things that count. What about if you found an iPhone in a public setting? Simply just ask Siri, whose phone is this, and they'll give you their email so you can go ahead and be the good Samaritan and return the phone to its rightful owner. I'm trusting you guys to do the right thing. Now this next one I thought was really handy. So if you're the type of person who likes to fall asleep listening to music or watching videos, if you actually dive into the clock app and you set a timer for, let's say, an hour, 20 minutes, however long it takes you to fall asleep, if you hit the option that says when timer ends and you scroll down to the bottom and choose stop playing, that's actually going to stop any music or videos from playing once that timer is up. I think that's a great feature for putting kids to sleep and just for sleep therapy in general. Because I mean, you don't want to wake up to a dead phone from playing music and videos all night. So now last but not least, we have the LG G6. So I really like how a lot of the more recent smartphones are becoming smarter on the whole automated spectrum. And back in the day on Android, it used to require an app called Tasker to do what I'm about to mention that's available on this phone. So the LG G6 has a feature called Smart Settings that actually allows you to automatically turn off Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and set your sound profiles once you leave your home, and vice versa once you return back to your home. I'll tell you right now, not every smartphone has those bragging rights, and that's a fantastic feature to have that makes the LG G6 stand out. But Smart Settings goes a little bit beyond that. You're able to have the phone automatically launch any of your favorite apps when a particular Bluetooth device connected. So it's perfect for programming your favorite pair of earbuds to launch your favorite music app, or have your favorite radio app launch when a pair of wired headphones are plugged in. Another tip is that, again, it goes back to what I said in the beginning, it caters to one-handed operation. So instead of you having to like reach up to pull down the notification shade, you can actually go into the button combination settings and configure a shortcut so you can just press the soft key to pull down your notifications and pull it back up. Now you can also add a screenshot shortcut to the nav bar, similar to what we saw on the Galaxy S8. Again, goes back to the whole one-handed thing, but for some reason on the T-Mobile variant, you're not able to do this. They block that feature altogether. So if you're using another carrier, you're definitely going to be able to take advantage of that feature. Now the next one, I'm not sure how much of use you guys are going to get out of this, but I'm sure somebody will. So you can actually set a screensaver for the G6 while the phone is charging. You can have it cycle through one of your Google Photos albums, so you can use this as a digital photo album, or if you're just into your smartphone looking pretty while it's charging. I personally don't use that feature, but I thought it might help somebody out there. So yeah, I hope you guys learned a few things. I sure did when I was researching some of this stuff. So if you enjoyed this video, show me some love by hitting that like button, and also press that little alert button so you're notified every time I drop a new awesome tech video. As always, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.